Well, hello there, y'all. It's your girl, Shawn LeRae, and you know what today is. It is Wednesday, and that means it is time for Boss Talk LA. Good evening, y'all. It's Shawn LeRae, and this is Boss Talk Gold, where the we have an amazing guest here tonight. So take this time to call a friend, text a friend, that link is up with the like. Yeah. Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in. And it is your girl, Shawn LeRae, and welcome to Boss Talk. Once again, we are here live every Wednesday. That's Hump Day. So go ahead right now, and if you're out there, put in the chat what you're doing to help you get through to the end of the week, because you know it's Hump Day. That's midweek, y'all. And we here at Boss Talk, we live for the weekend. Now, I got to tell you something. I say that we live for the weekend, but here lately, it's been a little bit challenging in Cali because we have had more rain in the last this whole winter into spring than we have had pretty much in the whole time I've lived here. And I got to tell you, I don't like it. Now, I do know I am grateful to God for the rain because it does make all the beautiful things happen with the plants and the flowers and all of that. But it's challenging for me because I like to go out and play, and I don't like to play in the rain. Now, walking in the rain with the one I love is a huge, amazing thing to do. However, if I have to get in my car and drive in this California traffic with these folks who don't know about driving in inclement weather, yeah, it becomes a little bit challenging for me. So the thing that I like to do on Hump Day, I chose to have my day off from the office on Hump Day because it allows me to recharge, rejuvenate, and get ready for the rest of the week to make it into Friday, which is my favorite day of the week because that means that all the fun things are happening on the weekend and I get to partake of those. So let's see who's out there talking to us today. CEO Billy had Bad Grass Seals says hello. CEO oh, you silly rabbit. So that's my honey, y'all. And thank you for tuning in tonight, darling. So I want to kind of prep you for our conversation tonight. So those of you who know me know that I am always busy. I just had a dear friend, shout out to Lynn Brewer, who is in town, and a dear friend, and we just had a wonderful lunch together and good catch-up time because she moved 2 years ago to the Midwest. And one of the things that she said was, I'm so glad we got to spend this time together because I know you are always busy. And it's true, I am. I have some friends who say to me, you need to slow down. You need to you need to take some time. I'm always busy. However, I do know how to take time for myself, for my wellness, well-being, for my health. And I don't know any other way to be. I always have been involved, engaged in a lot of things. And so, if y'all have been listening, you know that I got the distinct honor and pleasure to keynote at my dear besties event last week called the Woman of Worth Conference. And it was in Houston, Texas, y'all. So I was out there uh, in the Southwest, just living and loving, and it was an amazing event. And as a result of that opportunity, I met an amazing young woman. Now, she was the MC of the event, and she read my bio. And she made a comment about how busy I was. And then I got a chance to hear her bio. And I was like, well, now, wait a minute. Because I feel like she is as busy, if not busier, than even myself. And so I loved that. And one of the things that, if you've been tuning in, you know about me is that I have ADHD. So that's a very controversial diagnosis. And I just call it my superpower. And I recognize that it's the ADHD that keeps me able to do all the things that I do. Because I can safely say that I likely have more energy than any 64-year-old you will meet on this planet. And so I call it my superpower. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its challenges. And so tonight, we are going to talk to a woman who has found her superpower and recognizes that it helps keep her busy. And so we're going to talk about when keeping busy is a blessing to all, not just to her, but the people that she gets to serve. So I want to just shout out some folks in the audience, and then I will be bringing her on for you all to meet. So Wanda's out there. Hello, sis. She says, hello, looking beautiful as always. And I thank you. You know, these new iPhones have the picture that pops up, and when Wanda's picture pops up, it just makes me smile. She's so beautiful. It's so happy. Candace, my guest, has the same thing. My bestie Chantel Denise, when her picture pops up, I just am so full of joy because she no longer lives here. And so it's a lot of fun to do that and to see the photos that keep popping up when people call you. So happy to see you, Wanda. Hey, cuz, what's up? Hello, family. He says, hey, family. That's my cousin Brian, all the way from the Chi-Town area. Hey, Susan Lowe. Hey, fam. She says, yes, ma'am. Susan is a definitely family to the Boss Talk. She is also family in that she is also a marriage family therapist, licensed marriage family therapist, and she is an expert in Black maternal health. And she was on, and we're gonna have to get her back over here because I think Black Maternal Health Month or Mother's Month or something like that is coming up soon. So we should talk about that. And my sweetheart says ADHD, absolute destiny has distinction. Ooh, baby, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about like shifting this stigma around ADHD. And it is a serious thing, y'all, and it does disrupt people's lives. But we're going to talk about ways that you can kind of shift that and flip it. So if you know somebody who needs to be tuned in tonight, take this moment and holler at them and get them on here. But let me tell you about Candace Joseph. She is the dynamic force behind the Joseph Consulting Firm, LLC. She serves as its chief executive officer, a results-driven leader. Candace boasts an impressive background in marketing, coupled with a proven track record of propelling business growth for small marketing firms. Her strategic mindset, coupled with a wealth of experience, positions her as an industry expert in developing and executing marketing strategies, fostering high-performance teams, and delivering unparalleled client experiences. So I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about her as we bring her on. And so please, Boss Talkers, holla at my guest, Candace Joseph. Uh-oh, there she is. Hello, beautiful.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Very good indeed. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Miss you guys already.
I know we had a great time in Houston, did we not?
We did. We
Mm,
definitely did.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So they're shouting you out. Susan says, hello, Candace. Wanda says, great topic. And Susan says, yes, ma'am. Tomorrow is Black Maternal Health Week, April 11th through 17th. Ah, shout out. Absolutely. Now that's something we need to talk definitely more about too. So, Candace Joseph. So, what a pleasure to meet you. So, Candace and I, like I said, we worked together in at the conference last week, and we discovered that we are kind of kindred spirits. So, so first off, tell us a little bit about the Joseph Consulting Firm.
Well, the Joseph Consulting Firm is like it's a one-stop shop, right? So it's everything you need for business in one office. I
Mm,
work with 17 dynamic professionals who, have their own brands, their own companies, but we decided to get together and show people that group economics really do work, and we formed the firm. And it's everything you need from A to Z. Our specialty is marketing, and that's what we're known for. We've won lots of awards for marketing, and we do a lot of things for community. So look, that's the Joseph Consulting Firm. Like we just get in. We believe that anybody that have a dream should really fulfill it,
mm.
and in the end, it's really worth it. It's like let's just give it a good try. Let's just do this.
I love it. I love it. I love that there's 17 of you all that each have your own expertise.
Yes.
You came together and you're making it work for the community and other businesses and that. And I love that. And Candace, one of the things that I always say here on Boss Talk is that my coach coined the phrase some time ago that really stuck with me as a woman working with several organizations. And that is that collaboration crushes competition.
No,
And
that's
it
true.
sounds like you guys are exercising that principle.
Well, it really started out really more so as just kind of as a love, right? Just to say, hey, what can we do for entrepreneurs? What can we do for at competitive prices for great work? But the great part about having a team is that if it's something new that you want to try, we're each other's guinea pigs.
Ah,
So I think that's the brilliance of it, right? Like if it's something someone wants to try, hey, try out this new thing on my company. Hey, let's test these apps. Let's test it here. Let's go there. Let's do this. And we just kind of bring it all home, and we just do it in a fun family atmosphere, and sky's the limit. Sky
I
is definitely the
love
limit.
that. I love that. So, how did you get into the marketing field?
A lot of people want to know that, right? By education, from Prairie View A&M University, I have a degree in accounting. So my background is mostly accounting and education, but I've always been a person that like commercials. I like magazine ads. Um, I like magazine covers. I like the colors on billboards, the letters that they use, like why they use certain shapes. And it just kind of formulated just really from a labor of love and really just kind of an interest in it. You just form an interest and you learn about something, and then you learn your craft, and the more you learn, the more you can implement and put into place, and just really just be your brilliant self. So I tried marketing, it stuck. And look, out of all the business things I've done in the past, 'cause I've been a failed business owner in the past, this
Hmm.
worked, you
I
know.
love that. I love that. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the failed businesses because a lot of people don't want to take the step. They don't want to try because they believe they will fail. And fear of failure keeps people stuck. And so let's talk about that. What was the thing that you did that did not work?
I think the thing that didn't work for me was simply it wasn't systems, it wasn't organization, it wasn't the client list. I think for me it was more so of a fear to succeed than to fail that
Hmm.
actually caused me to fail.
Ooh, come
So,
on, girl.
I didn't know how to bridge that gap between the imposter syndrome that I had for years,
Mm-hmm.
and the realization like it's okay to show people that you're smart. It's okay to show people your creative side. No matter if they get it, I wear my quirky outfits, quirky hair, whatever it may be, in the space of being me. And I had to learn how to forgive myself for everything that worked in the past and everything that didn't work. I wasn't a great communicator. I wasn't great with follow through with clients, like all of those things I had, but I got a business coach.
There you go.
You
There
know, like you have to have business coaches. I did that. I signed up for Toastmasters. I would just go into an elevator and just speak to people. I would press each button and speak to anybody that got on the elevator. Like I did all of those things in the space of breaking out of that shell. Past that. I
Wow.
was one of those people that like to be in the background. I didn't really like to be seen because truthfully, I'm an introvert, even though what I do for business is very extroverted. You know, you have to be very extroverted to be out there. So uh, it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, let's try marketing. Why not? Let's try it and let's forgive ourselves for everything we got right and everything we got wrong, and let's see if we can get a breakthrough in. And for me,
Come
that's
on.
really what
Come on.
happened.
I
Yeah.
love that about the breakthrough. So
Yeah.
it's very funny. That word is more powerful than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you, just this past Sunday. Oh my gosh, I wish I could think. The minister was talking about a breakthrough, and he said, "What was the word that he said?" I cannot remember it, and I did not write it down, and I meant to. He gave the word that is the Latin or the Hebrew word for breakthrough. And it was amazing the way that it all came together.
Yeah.
But breakthrough it's so powerful because it speaks to so many things, right? It
Yeah.
speaks to erasing fear.
Yeah.
It
And the
speaks
breakthrough
to
can look different for everybody,
yes,
right?
it
It
speaks
looks
to changing
different.
mindset, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It speaks to overcoming the fear of speaking in public, overcoming imposter syndrome, all of those things. In order to move forward, we need to have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Now here's somebody who you might have met on last Saturday. Good evening, ladies. Hi, Candace. So that's my soror Rhonda that I mentioned was in the audience on Saturday. So welcome, and you know this beautiful young lady right here. So good to see you, soror. So,
Definitely.
so I love that we're talking about the failed business because now your businesses are successful and you are helping other people bring themselves to a space of rather than surviving, trying to stay above water, they're thriving in their businesses. And you
Yes.
have a whole team that y'all collaborate together to provide all the pieces that someone needs. You also said something else that is very important, and I always speak about investment, y'all. We invest our time in all the things that do not always move us to where we want to be. So we'll be sitting on the internet scrolling, talking about how bad we want to succeed and how bad we need to do better with our time, but we're wasting time and investing in all the things that we do not want to, that do not help us move forward.
That's true. And there's so many things out there that you can really do for free. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if we could sit there and take our times with our new cell phone devices and spend an hour trying to figure out the newest gadgets and the newest updates and all of these things, think about if you take an hour a day or even 20, 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
And you can read something, listen to something, watch a video on something that can just really boost your brain power. If
Mm-hmm.
you're a word of the day
Yes.
kind of person, do a word of the day. If you're a puzzle person, do a puzzle for 20, 30 minutes. If you're a math person, do a math problem. It's so many things that's out there that I was just a person that if I had an interest in it, I wrote it down. I wrote it down and then I researched it. And then I
Yes.
looked at how can I apply this to everyday life? How can this information help somebody and how can it create impact? I'm very,
Yes.
very into to impact because I feel like, we all have gifts that we really need to share with the world. And so let's figure out how we can do it, and it helps community at the same time. I'm really about community.
Yes,
You
indeed. I
know?
love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I got some information on that breakthrough. It is breakthrough. The Hebrew word is bursting, a bursting forth, and it means to break through, break out, or break open.
Ooh.
And so think about that when you've been living in a shell. You need to burst forth. You need to break out. You need to break open that shell so that you can come through and shine.
Yeah.
When you have been fearful, when there have been things that have happened in your life that have created fear, that hold you down, when people have said certain things about you and you take those in and take them on and wear them like a jacket,
Mm.
need to break out of that jacket. So I love words, Candace, and I know you do too. And so I can see how first of all, it is I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that you are a bit of an introvert, other than I know how this thing works. And so I get it from that perspective. But I
Yeah.
want to say to people out there, if you call yourself an introvert and that is your reason, that is the coat you're wearing, and you are allowing it to mean that you cannot do certain things that God has gifted you to do, then I'm going to invite you to take a page out of Miss Candace's book and do all the things. Sometimes we have to do all the things, no matter what the thing is. Toastmasters, ain't nobody going to Toastmasters. They're going to look at me. Well, you said you want to do A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G. Go on over there. You'll get there. You'll find a lot of the people in there are just like you. They're here for that very reason. I love
Yes.
that. Now, talk about the puzzles and the mathematics and all of that. What is that? I get it. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What does that have to do with anything related to breaking out in your business, to busting forth in your bursting forth, to breaking through?
So, I brought up the puzzles and the math and all of that because we all have different interests, right? So, my interest is chess. I love chess. So, I could sit there and play chess for hours. I can teach someone how to play chess for hours. Chess is a game for me where I think about angles. I think about if I make this move, how will this affect what I do next?
Come on.
Okay, am I going to have to, can I barrel forward or do I have to retreat? Right? But I have to make sure that the foundation is covered. So I look at puzzles, word of the day, any of those things that get your brain going. It gets you into an atmosphere of learning. It kind of tricks your brain and turns your brain on to get to where it's open. In order to learn something new or to try something new, you have to be open to everything. You have to be open to all experiences.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And it is. There's so many ways to do what needs to be done. And
Yes.
so if you can attach yourself to something that sparks your creativity, that sparks your brain, that mirrors life, because the chess game, time to retreat, time to burst forward. It's all very akin to living everyday life. And I love that
Yes.
analogy. I love that you called that forth. A breakthrough, in my definition, is coming in contact with your ultra ego. Now, he does know that there's an alter ego. He has talks about the ultra ego. That is the one that surpasses all the things to get you to the place where you are operating on full tilt boogie
Oh
in
yeah.
your gifts, and
Oh yeah.
that is amazing. Susan says, such an important conversation, getting over fear, imposter syndrome, and breakthrough. Yes.
Yeah.
uh, I knew this was coming. Oh boy, I found me a chess partner.
Woo-hoo, let's go.
This one loves to play chess. I'm impressed, Candace, that you have the gift of ADHD and you still find yourself playing chess. I do not do well with a lot of board games or cards or that kind of thing, because I am ready to go already. I'm like, I'm sitting there for a minute and I'm like, okay. And my partner's like, but where you going? I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. So
Well, see, what I do is I sit there and I think about, okay, like in a deck of cards, you know how many cards are in a deck? And as they're being played, all I'm doing in my mind is subtracting away which card, which suit was played, and then I'm looking at the probability of what the next card would be. So that's just me though. That's
Yeah,
just
so
how I operate.
you
Yeah,
got a
that's
whole superpower
strategy.
that
Yeah.
I was not attached to, because for me it was like, oh, look, the sun is shining. Oh, pay
Oh, that's
attention.
me too. Okay, wait.
So
That
I would
is
always
me
want
as
to be
well.
outdoors and not sitting still. That's the
Yeah,
thing for me.
that's me as well. I zone out. People think it's crazy. I go to like 4 or 5 events a day. My back seat is full of clothes, shoes, jackets, accessories, different frames. Is hilarious.
So you can
I
be
don't
ready
know.
to go at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, for me, is more so than just, I like to be on the go a lot because I guess that's part of the ADHD too. But I like to make sure that I'm showing up and showing support for people that are in the community that are doing really well. That could be a business owner, that could be a nonprofit, it could
Mhm.
be a community space. So I like to show people and let them know that their gifts are being heard
Love
and that
it.
they're seen. So I like to show up, show out, be flashy. That's just one of the
That's
things
right.
I do. And, I like to bring attention to things that people need to know about.
Yes.
I'm very involved here in Houston and domestic violence spaces, sex trafficking spaces. I'm a disabilities advocate, LGBTQ rights, and I'm a part of the Buddhist community here in Houston. So I like to, do a little bit of everything, but I like to make sure that I keep community in mind and how every day, how can I help community in some kind of way?
Right.
So
Community
yeah,
first. I
that's
love
important.
that. I love that. Now, Susan says, oh, I hadn't thought about it like that. Puzzles and such. I love this. Absolutely. She says again, I love this. I never looked at puzzles as opening my mind in that way. Ooh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, you tuned in on the right night, sister. I love it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the ADHD.
Yes.
So, did you go to a doctor and somebody say, "Oh, she's got ADHD," or how did it show up for you? Were you in school and having some issuations in the school situation?
No, not
What
at
was it
all.
like for
I,
you?
I was in my 30s and
Ah,
I was at work. But like you said, it was like you stare at a computer screen and then you don't realize like 2 or 3 hours went by because in your head it's like 50,000 things are running through it. You have a notepad and you realize you fill up the sheet one, then you flip over sheet two, and then you start going on your phone and start looking at all this stuff and you just think, it's lunchtime. And I had a boss that was kind of like, okay, so what are you doing? I want that report at 10. What are you doing? And I was
yes.
like, okay. And with that, it was just like, it just seemed to get worse. So
Mhm.
I thought, okay, I'm a person that believe in therapy. I go to therapy every Wednesday. I've been doing so for 15 years. So I'm checking in with my therapist, like, okay, like, is this what depression looks like or something? I feel like I can't sit still. Um, my mind is racing a mile a minute. I can't sleep at night. Then I thought about it. Oh, maybe I'm going into early menopause. Yay, right? And I went to the doctor, and with it, I was having all these headaches because I wasn't getting enough sleep. And so my therapist said, "Why don't you go to a neurologist? Why don't you go talk to a neurologist, see what's going on there?" So they ran all these tests, and then they came back and said, "Oh, you have ADHD and ADD." And I was like, "Oh, so that's what this is." Okay. So the more I read up on it, it was like, okay, different signs were there. I'm a messy person. I'm one of those people that I thought it was like OCD or something at first. I got like so many copies of Their Eyes Were Watching God, and, different things that, were comforting to me, books and papers and things. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, I'm a hoarder. Cool. Okay, no problem. Right. Why do I need to keep magazines that are 2 years old because of one article that I loved in it? Why didn't I just cut out the one article? It was just one of those things, right?
I love
Uh,
it.
why do I go to every place and if there's a free magazine or a free newsletter, I pick it up, I read it, I circle, I underline. Why do I do all these things? So when I found out I had that, I was talking to my parents one day, just kind of joking. I was like, man, I went to the doctor, they gave me ADHD and they gave me these different options I could do as far as medication or strategies. And my mom said, well, yeah, we've been doing that. I was like, wait, what? She was like,
Why
she
nobody
was,
told
yeah,
me?
you know, remember as a kid, we used to take you, and every week used to go twice a week to this doctor, and they show you different things on how to do things and organize things and take your notes and write your notes in class. And I was like, well, yeah, I just thought that y'all was trying to help me, be smart, I thought y'all were just, prepping me for the future. And they were like, no, you had an issue with sitting down in class. You wouldn't sit down in class, and you would burst out random. You would just raise your hand in class and burst out these random facts to the teacher about dinosaurs. Like she could be talking about math. I'm talking about dinosaurs. Okay. you know.
Uh-huh.
But I just thought, okay, I had a good, healthy appetite just for knowledge. I was one of those bookworms. I still read 3 books a week to this day, right? When do I have time? I don't know. It just happens.
Yeah.
But I've done that since I was a kid. So I learned about mirroring, where if it's something that I really need to get done, I need to have someone sitting across from me mimicking the same thing. So in my office space, my COO, which is my best friend Brandy, she's been my best friend 34 years. We have desk on wheels. She wheels her desk into the doorway of my office, and we'll sit there, and she'll, okay, well, you got your to-do list. I got my to-do list. Let's see if we can knock this out in 2 hours. And I'm like, okay. So she's working, I'm working. So I had to have someone to mirror. Okay. So I learned
Love
that
that.
technique as far as ADHD, right? I learned, a lot of different things. And even to this day, I'm still going to classes. I'm still doing online things as tactics, because I have to make sure that I keep that executive, the executive fire within me burning. I have to have that executive function, kind of on point to kind of do all the things
Yes.
that I do.
Yes.
But it is amazing to have a great team that reminds you to drink water, to sleep. Hey, we understand you found out about these wonderful things about AI. Please stop emailing us at 2 in the morning. So I have a really great team, and they'll ask me, when was the last time you slept? When was the last time you ate? And it's just really, really good. Even, during COVID, we get on Zoom, they work, I'd work. And it was just one of those things where I would tell them, and I communicate very well in that regard, saying, "Hey, right now I have to finish a task. I need someone to either mirror with me, or let's have a brain dump session where I can dump this thing
Yes.
out. You can help me organize it, because right now my executive function is a little bit off. I need to borrow yours."
Come on, girl. Thank
So,
you. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Listen, let me pull something up here and show you something. Mr. Seals says, so the question is your room symmetrically clean or is a little unsymmetrical? I find there's a common thread with ADHD. If this is too personal, you do not have to answer. You answered without him asking. So the
it's
interesting
everywhere.
now here's the thing.
It's everywhere. It's all over
Right.
the place. But I
Yes.
have learned to kind of sandwich it into my one corner of the world. Okay. So I have one corner that's like my dump corner. I could dump anything in that corner, and then I camouflage, and everything else looks great. So I
And
have
then, and then after a while, you will go there and you'll be like, I can't take it. And you will clean that corner out and it'll be pristine again until the next time.
yes,
I love
that
this.
is correct. That
So,
is
so
correct.
let me hit on a couple of the things that you talked about. First of all, I love the idea of mirroring.
Yes.
And there are, there's so many, there are various different ways that people can help themselves with combating the things of ADHD that are difficult, because one of the things is it is a superpower. You're super smart and you can get a lot done in a moment, and you can work well under pressure and all those things, but then it backs up on you, and then you're like, whoa, I'm drowning, and then you need a little help. So I have a cousin Marquita, shout out to you, girl. She had been like, what is going on? Because I know the girl can start a business in 30 seconds. She can make some money. She knows how to do that. She knows how to do all these things, but why can't she clean her room up? Right. And so this was a thing for her. And then one night on the internet, I found this 28-minute video of an old doctor with silver hair talking about how ADHD shows up for us. And he was so on point. I sent it to her. I said, watch this. And she said, oh my God, thank you, because I've been doing my own research. She said, because it just baffled me. And people are always confused, like, well, how she gets straight A's, but then over here she can't sit still. She doesn't work and play well with others. She talks too much. She's in trouble all the time. Then sending notes home from her parents. Now I was born in 1960, so didn't nobody know nothing about no ADHD, especially in the Black community. But I thank God, and I've said this before, boss talkers, you know this. I have said I thank God for Gene and James Williams and the entire Williams clan, the entire Johnson clan, like my family on both sides were amazing for somebody who has ADHD. They never made me wrong. They never made me feel bad about talking all the time.
Yeah.
They never, they just said my mama said anybody who talks as much as my baby ought to get paid. And I get paid to talk. So it's a beautiful thing. I followed instructions well. My grandmother, my baby don't want to work. All she wants to do is play. I make jewelry. I play. I make soap and bath salts and body fizzes and all that. It's playing for me. When I play with my band. We play. I love it. Working with people and the thing that I love, I get to talk all day, every day, and they pay me for it. I
Yeah.
love my life.
Yeah.
So to my shape, which is beautiful, right? But it's
Yeah.
cool. Oh
I
my
just I just had to channel it. I think I channeled it a lot of different ways growing up, because I didn't know. Even to this day, I'm still an oversharer. It happens. I'm cool with that because I know who I am, and I'm cool with that. And you just got to be cool with it too.
or
Uh,
not.
you know,
And if you
I,
don't, goodbye.
I'm going to talk about 5 different topics in one conversation. Please keep up because if you don't, it's going to irritate me. And then I'm going to remind you, please put on your listening ears and keep up.
Or you'll say, I said that already. You didn't hear that? You didn't
Then
get
I'm
that?
like, okay. I'm like, okay, let me tell the story again. They'd be like, no, 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 it's okay. But I try to keep now. I try to keep like that mental checkbox. Like, okay, I want
Mhm.
to talk with this person about this, this, and this. Check the boxes off as you go. And then if it's something I forgot, I'm one of those people. I'll send a text message or email later. And it kind of works with business too because you can pick my brain about business. Anything I see, I read, I hear, I memorize it. I've been like that since a kid, so it really helps out. And then doing what I do is great because like you said, you can put on a super cape and solve problems. But the thing about it is, I love to give people the solution, but I also love to have that hands on with them to see that it's solved and see their businesses grow. So I use
Right.
it in that way. And besides, like I have a disability, I walk with a cane, so I can't run and jog and ice skate and all of that like I used to. So now I just use the muscle, in my head there, and we just get a lot of things done, and I just have a lot of fun. That's
Well,
just
I
what
have to talk about that cane now because baby girl got a cane that is a bad cane. It is glass. It's I don't know if glass like something acrylic,
it's
but it's
plastic.
see
It's it's,
through.
it's
It is
plastic.
see through, and it
Yeah.
is fabulous. And so I love that. And when I had a cane for a while too with my back injury and all of that, and baby, it was blinged. Okay.
I just feel like, if I got to walk with it, it might as well be cute.
That's
And, like I said, I'm still that introvert, even though what I do, I'm very extroverted. Yes, I'm an MC. Yes, I'm a public speaker. Yes, I'm on the radio. Yes, I do talk shows. Yes, I act in movies. I write songs. Yes, I do all those things. But at my core, it kind of takes me a minute to warm up to people. So the cane is kind of like a great introductory piece.
sure.
You know what I mean? And then like, when I come up with the flashy jackets and the wild hair and all that just kind of rolls with it.
I
So
love it all.
it's just one of those things. Like if I'm gonna be marketing, I'm gonna be marketing all the way around.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. What did Mr. Seal say? I love your response to my answer. You had me laughing out loud. I would love to see you play chess. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to play like 2, 3 games at a time though. I'd
That
have I'd have to have at least 2, 3 boards set up. And yeah, so a lot of women are
awesome.
are diagnosed as adults for ADHD because in girls it's not really known, right? So
Right.
ADHDs in boys, you see all the signs, but with girls, Some girls are not going
Right.
to run around and play in the dirt. They're going to sit there, be quiet. A lot of times they're wallflowers to a certain extent, and then as they get older, it comes out. It comes out in
Yeah,
different ways. And most women that are diagnosed with ADHD is over the age of 25. So
absolutely.
between
And I think
24
that
and 25.
part of that is, number one, a lot of it is permission, right? It's permission to be who you really are. And a lot of women don't get that permission until they take it later on, or it shows up at work. I've been fired from some of the best places on the
Come
planet.
on.
Uh,
That's all right. At the
but
last job, I learned how to ask for accommodations.
oh, I got
I had
that.
to read up
But
on my rights. I
let me
had
tell
to
you
read up
when,
on my rights. Yes.
go ahead. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let me tell you, I did not know that I had ADHD until I was past 50. I was 50. When did I go to do my doctorate? I was 57 or 8. And I was teaching, actually 56. That's what it was. I was teaching, and I was teaching therapists like myself. And shout out to Pacific Oaks, Susan. I was teaching at Pacific Oaks College, and my class was culture, attachment, and trauma. And so I told my class, all right, get out your DSM 5s. We are going to talk about the difference between the disruptive behavior disorders and ADHD. I said, go ahead, give me the criteria. I'm going to write it on the board. So I get my little expo pen, and here I am. And they gave me the first one, and I wrote it. I said, give me the second one. They gave me the second one. I was like, give me the third one. And by the fourth one, I was like, oh, snap, that's me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my class said, yeah.
But I like how you mirrored it with trauma, because a lot of times well, I'll speak from my own experience. What I noticed is that once I start going through the layers of trauma and dealing with a therapist that specializes in trauma, right? Once I start going through that and you start healing from certain things, then all of a sudden other things just start coming through that you didn't know were there, that you either suppressed, or I thought really the ADHD in me wanted to be busy and all the time and never wanted to be at home and not want to sit in one place was a result of the trauma.
Aha. And
Right?
that is also
Yeah.
how some people's gets overlooked,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they equate it to that. Now, here's the interesting thing. Some people do not have ADHD and have the symptoms of ADHD because of the trauma, because of how they're running and they're moving, trying to not engage. However, they also do not have the superpowers that come with ADHD. And
Yeah.
that is a way to kind of look at it too, because there are certain parts. So it is for those of you who might not know, it is a neurodevelopmental
Yes.
situation, because I hate that word disorder, because it's not. That's a yucky word. Don't like it. Yuck, yuck, yuck. So it is a neurodevelopmental situation. So a lot of people will say, oh, it ain't no ADHD. You just don't want to do it. And I'm here to tell you, it is not about whether you want to do something or not. There are, if you love something, your brain is doing a dance that sends out a great hormones and enzymes and all of that. If you
Oh
do
yeah.
not like something, your brain sends out a different set of situation that comes out of it, enzymes and all of that. So it is not a choice.
Yeah.
It's not a choice. We can either not focus or we can hyper focus. And hyper focusing is when we are in that book and nothing else exists.
That is correct.
When we
Or
are
that
on that
project, or yeah, that's correct. That's correct. So I tell people, if you want someone to clean up, hire me, because I'm not it. You want the lawn cut, manicured, that's somebody else's job, not mine. My job is to be creative and to focus on clients. Now I will cook, but any of the other household stuff, no. I'm already a hoarder, so let me let somebody else do that. And look, I'm okay. I can say it with jest and love. But I love the fact that all of these things that make me who I am has, really helped guide me into this life that I live. And I absolutely love that. It helped shape me
Mhm.
into who I am to be able to be that voice for people within the community in the business space that isn't okay with certain things about themselves or revealing certain things. I let people know like it's
Yes,
okay, because people don't want to talk about the different mental associations or different problems. We don't want to talk about the depression and the things that can come with entrepreneurship. We don't want to talk about those things where you're trying to figure out how to balance work and life but still deal with all of this extra stuff. We don't want
absolutely.
to talk about our triggers. We don't want to talk about those things from past trauma, but at the same
Absolutely.
time, I I'm not gonna say I wear it, but I will say this. I'm okay with having those layers as a part of who I am. And every
Mhm.
day I'm in a healing space.
Come on.
And
Yes,
because
yes,
healing is a continuum, right? It doesn't just stop in
absolutely.
one space, it's a continuum. So I love the fact that I'm okay with being open with telling people, yeah, I am a badass entrepreneur, but hey, I'm human too.
Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes people who move through the world the way that you and I move through the world, we are completely misunderstood.
Yes.
And so I love that you say that because we're happy most of the time. Why not? The
Yeah.
world is a beautiful place. There's some ugly stuff going on up and through here, but it's still a beautiful place. But we have to, we have to move in the space of who we are.
Hmm.
And we have to learn how to do that unapologetically.
Yes.
So that is why that's why you know that I have ADHD because it is on my bio, doggone it. And she read my bio and introducing me at the conference, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Me too," and I was like,
Me
"Sister," and
too. That's it.
and
Like,
we hugged before I went
yes,
up.
yes,
Yeah,
family, family.
yes, yes. You give people permission to be who they are when you own and walk in your true who you are-ness.
Yes.
And then people can see that and be like, oh, it's okay to be who I am,
Yeah.
and so I love that. Now, Susan, yes, she says many adults are finding out that they have, late in life learning about ADHD, and she wants to know about the resources that you found most helpful.
Oh, the resource that I found most helpful is being okay with being me. And
Truth.
just really knowing that nobody's gonna get it. But I read literature. I read anything that I could get my hand on, and there's some really cool TikTok and Instagram videos out there by some great creators that have ADHD as well. And so sometimes I'll send that to someone to explain the reason why we had 5 different conversations in 15 minutes. Like sometimes it's just easy. Hey, look at this video. Then you understand my personality.
Right. Ownership.
Look,
Absolutely.
even in a dating space, let me send you this about me so that you'll understand. Let me see these little 5, 10 minute little videos, right? But the thing that
Mhm.
helped me most is really the therapy, because there are therapists out here for people with ADHD to help you navigate through the workspace. It helps you
Absolutely.
navigate to how to ask those for those accommodations that you may need. And it doesn't matter where you are, in your spectrum, in your life, in your workspace, you can advocate for yourself. So really, me learning about ADHD and learning about my rights as being someone with ADHD, it taught me how to really advocate for myself and to help other people advocate for themselves as well. Because we do it at the doctor's offices, we need to do it at the job.
Come on, talk to them, and at the schools because I was in a doctoral program,
Yeah.
um, and I have ADHD, and I discovered it, and then I was like trying to keep up with these readings and trying to turn in the papers and blah, and I went to my therapist. Well, first of all, when I discovered I had ADHD, I went after that little incident in the classroom. I went to my dad's house and I said, "Daddy, I got ADHD." And he said, "You ain't got no ADHD, baby girl." My little sister was there and she said, "No shit, Sherlock." I was like, "You be quiet." And I went to the car. I got the DSM-5. I opened it up. I started reading it to my dad. My dad was like, "Ooh, ooh, baby girl. Yeah, you got that. You got that bad." So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so then I talked to my therapist and I said, "Do I have ADHD?" She goes, "Yeah, absolutely."
Yeah.
I was like, well, how come nobody told me? And so what we did though is for my school, she helped me with a letter. I turned that letter in. I got my accommodations, life changing. And
Yeah.
here's the thing, the thing about ADHD that makes people also overlook it and not necessarily want to quote unquote fix it is that under pressure, you want somebody with ADHD on your team. Because when I was in class, I had back surgery, came home, and my counselor had said, "Hey, you're going to tell them that you have back surgery." I said, "I have accommodations." So he said, "Okay." I told the teacher, "Great, good thing I did," because then I came home and I had a paper due, and I was like, "I'll do it tomorrow. I'm here all day. Shoot, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh gosh, it's Wednesday. Paper's due at 11:59. Uh-oh." So I started working on it. I didn't get it. I got bored. I stopped. So then I called the teacher. I was like, I need some time. She says, okay. She gave me some more time. That time came. That deadline came. I didn't do the paper. So then she said, listen, just get everything turned in by the end of the semester.
Yeah.
And most people would say, oh my gosh, that's great. And they start working on it, right? So come the end of the semester, they didn't got it all done. No, 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 no. I waited until the Monday before the Wednesday that was the end of the semester. I started on paper one around 4 p.m. on Monday. I got it done Tuesday morning. Took a little nap, got back on it. Okay. Number 2 done. Wednesday, I called the teacher. I said, I need one more day. She said, okay, 11:59 tomorrow. I did paper number 3 starting Wednesday afternoon. I got through it. I turned it in at 11:58 on Friday.
Hey.
Now, they came back to me. I only missed 6 points in 3 papers.
Not bad.
I say that to say I got straight A's. So then what does that do? That's like, shoot. So I do the same thing the next time.
Oh no.
You need the coaches. This is why you need an
Yeah. Need
executive
the coaches. Yes.
You need somebody to say, girl, don't do that. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Because there is literally something that will stop you from moving. It is a frozen feeling.
It
I
is.
absolutely am paralyzed and I cannot move until that trigger goes off. And
There you
boom.
go. Because you got to have the dopamine, right? Like people think
Yes.
they don't realize that the ADHD is linked to dopamine. So we have to have that dopamine fix in order for our executive function to fire for us to be on all 10. So for me, my team, no. I got a couple of go-tos, a couple of them are food, and I'll just say that. A couple of them are food, but if you give me some turmeric and ginger and lemon and a great warm cup of tea, then okay, within 20 minutes I'm flying again. So it's just one of those things where I use it for good, but I think for me, I like it because it helps me come up with solutions. And I think outside of the box because I have to think
Yes.
outside of the box all the time on how to have the dopamine on fire to be creative, to be self, because ADHD can be paralyzing and it can look
Yes.
like depression. It can mimic depression if
Come on.
your dopamines aren't on all, if you're not firing with dopamine. And I have to say, I love when I do the dump sessions. I love when clients call in and they want to pick my brain for 30 minutes and they ask me questions. And not only am I going to give you an answer, I'm going to give you a solution, but I'm also going to give you a reference page and number. And I can spit off the reference. Oh, this was the title of the book. This was the volume. If you turn to page 53, paragraph 7, second sentence, this is your answer. So it works.
Twin. I
It
love my twin.
works.
And here's the thing, people get on some people's nerves with that. When I was a kid, I would go to dance class and I had a photographic memory. I'd go to dance class and the instructor has changed the routine and the choreography. And I'd be like, that's not what we did last week. And she'd be like, what, who asked you? I would get in trouble. I would get in trouble in school. The teacher would say something like, that's not right. And I had pristine notes. I used to charge for my notes in college because that's how our brains work. So that is why if you know someone with ADHD and you know they need help, tell them to get the help because it is a superpower. The way that the neurodevelopment of the brain, it may not fire on this side the way yours fires and get certain things worked out the way that yours works it out. But over here, it is firing with pristine excellence. And I just want to help people understand that it is not a curse. It can be a blessing to everyone, because you can guarantee that everyone that Miss Candace Joseph comes into contact with at the Joseph Consulting Firm, they are getting excellence, Black girl excellence, all the way live. Rhonda says, yes, it's a fly cane. She was there. She saw it. Hello, Ms. Burrell. S. Darnice Burrell. Welcome to Boss Talk. She says, greetings from Burrell Worldwide in Beverly Hills. Come on now. Sound like you need to come on Boss Talk and tell us about Burrell Worldwide. I'm loving it. Loving it. Susan says, you are going deep. Trauma responses versus ADHD. It's tricky, right? Neurodivergent. Absolutely. My next talk is going to be Black and neurodivergent, because if you're a little Black girl in school or a little Black boy in school, the way that you are handled, let's say, is very, very different.
It is.
And I'll say that. So we are coming to the end, Candace. This has been such a joy, as I knew it would be. I love having you on tonight. And there we go. If you want to connect with Candace, y'all go to Instagram at Candace the King. Website is www.josephconsultingfirm.com. So that's where you can talk to her if you want to learn more about her services, get on her roster, and let her help you help yourself. And if you, there's more comments. What they say? Hey, little bro. He says, hey, little cuz, you're amazing. Both of you. Can't stay long. Love you too. Mwah. So let's talk more about this little small world real quick. We get over there and find out that Candace is very likely Chantel Denise's cousin. And we already know that she is Lamar Deuce Lubin, my little bro's cousin.
Yes.
And so it truly is family. It truly is a family affair. Someone says, great show. Love you, little bro. Great show, Sora Rhonda said. Susan said, I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you both. Thank you, sis, for coming on in. And what did Mr. Seal say? Could you imagine being married to someone with ADHD and they have a photographic memory and remember everything is said like a tape recorder? You can't win. LOL. That's right, darling. And you're remembering that.
Yep.
Chantel Denise, I didn't know Cuzzo was going to be on. You got a real one on your hands tonight, bestie. Absolutely. Absolutely, my dear sister. So, and Chantel Denise, thank you, because you brought us all together. And I love that. So again, that's where you can find, yes, Burrell. Oh, I see. Burrell Worldwide will give you some insight on our PR marketing firm in the entertainment magazine management arena. This was great. So it's Boss Talk, y'all. Come back next week. We love you. Give it out.
Whoa, one of a kind.
This has been Boss Talk, y'all. That's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars. And that is you. Tune in next week. Tune in every Wednesday at 6 o'clock on that West Coast. 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock on that East Coast. We hope to see you.